A very good happy Thursday morning, or Friday, or Baby Friday, as we like to refer to it around here as. Landon here in the driver's seat, bringing you your latest weather and eye forecast courtesy of our friends over at On Target. Got a peculiar weather maker that we're keeping our eyes on, folks. Got the opportunity of some strong to perhaps even severe storms making an appearance in the forecast as we work a little bit later into today. Got the setup that's unfolding out here early this morning, and we can take a look at this deepening area of low pressure over the Great Plains. This is going to have a warm front that's going to be extending out from it. It's going to be lifting to the north and east over our vicinity. Then this associated cold front is going to blast eastward as we work into this evening and on into the overnight, bringing the opportunity at those strong storms that will be coming along with it. Let's get a look across the region. D93 Skycam showcasing the cloud cover. It's already overtaken some of the skies out there. We do have a few hit-and-miss rain showers that are meandering here in and around and across the region as well. Sexton Bin Builder Skycam showcasing a similar scenario. We've got the blanket of cloud cover that is situated right here across the region. And as previously mentioned, take a look at these current little meandering showers here that we have early this morning. Not too much to be worried about early on, but you can see we've got this northeastward motion with these little scattered showers already working through here. Bowling Green just got doused with a little shower there as well. Butler County about an hour or two ago had quite a nice little downpour over in that vicinity as well. Let's get a look at those current conditions. Readings already up to right around the 60-degree mark. The long cool spot up here off of 403 up in Woodbury, sitting at 54. We're dang near the 60-degree mark here, right along and across the rest of our vicinity and region. We're going to be bumping highs all the way up between the low and mid 70s this afternoon. Might have some breaks of sunshine as we roll into midday and early afternoon. That'll be priming up our atmosphere for the opportunity of some of those strong thunderstorms to get going across the region. Let's give you the full breakdown, shall we? Here's the big picture view of how the surface map is going to appear between early and mid-afternoon. Deepening low pressure system going to be cutting a path north and east towards the Great Lakes. That's going to be swinging that cold front east across the area as well. We'll be watching that warm front lifting north over the region as we work into this afternoon. Exactly where that boundary sets up is where we're going to be looking at some of the strongest storm initiation and development as the day wears on. So let's take a look at how our temperatures are going to behave throughout today. They are going to be skyrocketing. We're going to have the deep southwesterly flow during the peak heating of this afternoon. Low to mid 70s across the board. It is going to be breezy, but it is going to be very warm. It's going to feel a little bit soupy as well. Take a look at the uptick in our dew points as we work throughout today as well. We need readings around the mid 50s to begin to sustain strong and severe convection. And we're going to be well above that. We're going to be pegging those dew points anywhere between the low and mid 60s as we work throughout this afternoon on into this evening. And then you can see right here where the cold front's going to be working through with a sharp drop off in dew points. That'll be arriving here and eradicating any storm threat as you work later into the overnight. Let's get into the breakdown of exactly what's going to unfold because we have a very finicky system here on our hands. We are looking at surface-based CAPE. This is the storm fuel that ignites and helps storms sustain. You will note the blossoming of that surface-based CAPE as we work into midday on into this afternoon and evening. We have the ingredients that are available, folks, but it's looking like more of a conditional severe weather threat across our vicinity because those ingredients aren't exactly lining up exactly how they need to be to create some sort of widespread severe weather outbreak. That's not what we're dealing with this particular setup. We could have some strong storms that develop from it, but the details are rather murky and it's not a surefire bet with some of the model guidance still in disagreement on exactly what will unfold. So we still have some surface-based instability here between early and mid-afternoon, but watch as we work throughout the day and then we work into tonight. You notice the instability is on a downtrend. That is good news for us. And hopefully we see this weakening trend come to fruition. By the time we work into the early part of this evening, the majority of the threat should be east of the area and out of here. Looking at the short-term model guidance, this is the simulated radar activity, and you will note as we work throughout the day, we had these little scattered showers, a stray rumble of thunder already worked through early this morning. Here we are getting into midday, and then here we are rolling into early afternoon. Where we see these sails really latching on up here right along and just north of the Ohio River is where the highest probability is going to be for severe weather today. This is going to be latching on to the shear parameters right along and south of the warm front, where shear is usually maximized within storms. Now remember, wind shear is the change of wind speed and direction as you go higher up in the atmosphere, and that helps to organize the storms along with the updrafts to keep it alive and make it able to sustain. You will note as we roll into early and mid-afternoon, folks, look at these shear markers right along and north of the Ohio River. You see these little quips here coming off of these two sails right through the heart of the Louisville Metro and just north of that. These are shear markers. This is indicating substantial rotation within the atmosphere. That's why, as previously mentioned, the high severe weather threats look to be right along either side of the Ohio River in points northward, where the parameters will be most readily available to have some of the strong and severe convection come to fruition. We will be keeping eyes across our vicinity during this time to see if any discrete supercells get going, to see if they can get latched on here and develop given the environment. You will note the short-term model guidance is preventing any of those discrete cells from developing. However, as we work into the evening, whenever the primary cold front comes through here, we get these clusters of strong and potentially severe storms that blow up right across the heart of the Wobbles community and then plow eastward along with the cold front. This looks to be east of the region by the time we roll into roughly 8 to 10 p.m. tonight. Hopefully it's earlier whenever we have the majority of people still awake, not laying down for their overnight rest. And by the time that we roll into the pre-dawn hours of Friday, it looks like all of the moisture along with the cold front will be south and east of the region, all right? I want to point out something in particular, and that's our shear markers with the updrafts, all right? This is what we were looking at, and look at this afternoon, folks. This is somewhat concerning. Right along and just north of the Ohio River, those are strong signal markers there indicating some rather impressive rotation within some of those supercells that are expected to get going between early and mid-afternoon. So those you right along the Ohio River, that includes the Louisville Metro and points just northward. You got any folks up in that vicinity, make for sure that they are weather aware today with the opportunity of these strong and severe storms here rolling and moving across our vicinity. Here's a look at the latest from our local National Weather Service office and the Storm Prediction Center. The Wobbles community remains in a 1 out of 5 risk of severe weather, all right? The timing for this looks to be from roughly early to mid-afternoon around the 2 to 3 p.m. time frame through roughly 6 to 8 p.m. tonight looks to be our highest concern here for the opportunity of severe weather. And in particular, those of you right along the Ohio River and northward, right around lunchtime through early evening will be the peg time frame for you all as well. Here's a look at the latest in terms of probability. Right here across the Wobbles vicinity, you have a 5 to 14% probability of seeing damaging straight line winds. That's winds of 58 miles an hour or greater, and hail of at least 1 inch in diameter occurring within 25 miles of you, okay? Probabilities are not that great, but those that are impacted, it will be a high impact. So we got a 5 to 14% probability for the severe wind and hail, a 2 to 4% probability of a tornado touching down within 25 miles of your given location, all right? So again, low probabilities, but high impact if this was to come to fruition and impact those regions. You will note further to the north, along and north of the Ohio River, as previously mentioned, that's where the higher wind and hail probabilities and tornado probabilities will exist. We do believe that those will be just north of our vicinity, all right? I want to jump back over here now and get a look at the big-time picture now that we covered today's severe weather risk, and I want to repeat, our focus is on the near term throughout the entirety of today. We can flip this back over, though, and we can look after the cold front passes. we're going to have colder conditions working in here with breezy northwest winds flowing in behind that cold front. We will see a steadily cooling trend Friday all the way through the weekend. We might have a few quips of some hit-miss showers to deal with in the process. Maybe even a few snowflakes mixing in here as we work late into the weekend with the opportunity of this northwest flow really bringing back old man winter here, rolling into the end of the weekend and into the early days of next week. And then by mid to late week, we get warm air advection that returns, some more shower and storm chances roughly a week out from today. All right, so here's a look at your full 6-day weather forecast breakdown for today. Shower and storm chances throughout. They're going to be scattered in nature and then becoming more likely throughout the afternoon and evening. Strong and severe threat on the table. Highs between the low and mid 70s. Overnight lows down to around the mid 40s tonight. Only going to make it to the mid and upper 50s on Friday underneath loads of sunshine. Got a hit-miss rain chance there on Saturday with highs only making it between the low and mid 50s. And then the bottom drops out. Hit-miss shower and snow chances Saturday night. Sunday afternoon only making it to around the 40-degree mark underneath a mix of sun and clouds. More cloud cover Monday into Tuesday, but you will see that warming trend returning by Tuesday afternoon. We should be right back up and around the 50-degree threshold. Folks, it's going to wrap up your Thursday morning Baby Friday edition of your Weather or Not forecast presented by On Target. Stay locked in here across our outlets, folks. We'll be updating frequently, as always, throughout the day. With our severe weather threat on the table, have your notifications turned on. We will be updating you as necessary. You all take care of yourselves, take care of each other.